So there's never a dull day in crypto. Just when you think things are going good and it's going up, then we get this massive sell-off, and then, there's all sorts of craziness and volatility in the market. But it's not as bad as you might think it is, or as some people are making it out to be. So in this video, let's look at what happened, what we can expect, and what I think is actually playing out. What's up guys, Dirk here from IntelligentCryptocurrency.com. If you are new to the channel, welcome, subscribe down below, click that subscribe button, click the notification bell so you do get future updates. If you want me to send you an email every time I upload a video, get on my email list. It is the first link in the description down below. Sign up for my crypto masterclass, that way you get on my email list and I can send you an email every time I upload a video. Quick note before we get started into today's content, I will be closing the doors to my Intelligent Cryptocurrency membership next month as we are getting closer and closer to the end of the bull run. I want to avoid people buying in the very top, which I expect could come somewhere towards the end of December, maybe in January. So by closing it off in October, I think there's still a lot of upside potential there at least, and I will be able to help you as best as possible. If you want to join us before the doors close, second link in the description down below. There's a 60-day money-back guarantee, but after the doors close, you won't be able to join anymore. Alright, so Bitcoin, huge crash. As you can see here, this is the 4-hourly chart. I used this one specifically to just kind of make it look as dramatic as possible, where we had this huge dump where we went from 53,000 almost all the way back down to almost 42,000, right? That was a huge dump, but it's not as crazy as most people make it out to be. So while we had this big dump, if you zoom out, right, that's the most important thing. Okay, when in doubt, zoom out. That's always the first thing you should do. If you're feeling panicky, look at the bigger picture. So here is the monthly chart and look where we are, right? Does it look bad to you compared to the 4-hour? Completely different picture, right? We started the month, right? You can see over here, the open of the month was 47,110. We are currently at 46,173 as I'm recording this. So literally, it's almost not any different at all from where the month opened 9 days ago, right? So we went to 53K, we had a huge drop, and we rebounded, and we're perfectly in the middle. So there is actually completely nothing wrong with the picture. If you look at this on a monthly basis, this doesn't look scary at all, right? It is scary because it happened so quick on a short time period. It happened from 53 to 42, but on the big picture, there's absolutely no reason for concern. Now, it is only the 9th of September. That means we still have 3 weeks left of the month, and a lot can happen in 3 weeks. I wouldn't be surprised, as I said in my prediction video on the 1st of September, that we are going to get a green month this month, which means we'll only know at the end of September, obviously, when the monthly candle closes, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it close back in the green, and then we continue for Q4, so October, November, December, maybe even January, and we get a huge pump up. That is still a possibility. Actually, if you go and look at that prediction video, if you're watching on YouTube, I'll link to it up here, otherwise in the description down below. I did say the lowest that I expect for this month in case of a sell-off was $41,000, which was basically the top of this monthly candle close, and we went to about 42,000. So far, everything is still going according to plan. Now, of course, how the monthly candle is going to close is going to be telling. Obviously, if we close down and we close below $40,000 this month, it will end up changing the picture. But so far, that hasn't happened yet. And there is still very much potential, like I said, for this to close green and continue the uptrend. So we'll know by the end of the month. So what I want to do here a little bit is explain also a little bit what happened in case you haven't been following along. What I think happened is just a big shakeout. The September shakeout, I've been talking about this for a couple of weeks leading up to this, saying historically, September tends to be a bit of a negative month. I think it's still going to end up being a green month. We'll see at the end of the month. But this is a shakeout. It has happened previously, and I'm not surprised to see it happen. So basically, let's run through the events a little bit, what happened. So El Salvador, country in South America, is the first country who made Bitcoin legal tender. This happened on the 7th of September. You can see over here. So Nayib, he is the president of El Salvador. He tweets a lot. He's pretty active on Twitter. He says on the 7th, they bought 200 Bitcoin. They hold 400 Bitcoin now, so they bought 400. They added 150 extra. You can see over here, basically they said they bought the dips. We have a literal country buying the dip in Bitcoin. Like, it's crazy how things are changing. So Obviously, on this day that this happened and this was announced, we had a big sell-off. I think just basically there's a lot of politics here at play. This is getting to a level where it's countries buying Bitcoin and making it legal tender. So there's obviously a lot of power and politics and stuff involved behind the scenes that, it's basically big chess moves. What we're seeing is completely historic here, where in 2009, this magical internet money that was basically worth nothing when it came out is now starting to be adopted by literal countries. We're moving to a level where global adoption is imminent, and we are still early. We still only have around 200 million people who own crypto, but it is growing really fast. You'll see later in this video, I'll walk through some other headlines, but so much is happening in terms of investment, infrastructure, adoption, and it's like a snowball. It starts out very small. The bigger it gets, the faster it grows, the bigger it gets. So it's just this inertia, this momentum. Bitcoin started out very slow, but as it gets more adoption, the network effect, it continues to spread. I hear about it and I tell my friend about it. My friend tells 2 other friends, and those 2 friends tell 2 other friends. And before you know it, it starts to accelerate and grow massively. And I think we're at the early stages of that massive adoption starting to happen, where it could really end up going mainstream over the next few years. So again, he tweeted, incoming FUD on this day, September 7th, tons of it, stay focused. Obviously, he would know, right? Like, he's the president of the country. He would know a lot of high-level stuff that the public wouldn't know. But he basically warned us. He said, incoming FUD. And this was pretty much before the whole market dropped. So again, big politics happening behind the scenes, moves up and down. And basically what happened is it was a huge liquidation. So you can see this is on Bybit. The link will be down below. It shows how much was liquidated on leveraged exchanges. And what this means is basically a lot of people were betting on margin with money that they don't have, which means they can get liquidated. It means if the market moves against you enough, you will lose your initial collateral and then you get stopped out. And because the market was so heavily leveraged in one direction, there were so many people that were heavily betting on Bitcoin going to the upside, that once this liquidation cascade starts, so basically the market sells off, people's stops get hit. The more it stops get hit, the further it sells off, the more stops get hit. So it basically created this avalanche of a huge amount of positions. You can see over here, $3.2 billion was liquidated. This is all mostly on leveraged exchanges. So if you hold Bitcoin without leverage, you can't get liquidated. 1 Bitcoin is 1 Bitcoin. Even if the price drops all the way down to 0, you can't lose your Bitcoin. But if you're trading with leverage on an exchange, you can get liquidated. You can lose your entire account. A lot of people do this, and then, after the market goes up so much and everyone is betting on one direction, enough of a well-timed, coordinated kind of, should we say, attack on Bitcoin or crypto, or well-planned strategy at the right point can create all these massive sell-offs. And this works in the opposite direction too. If too many people are betting on a short direction, we get a massive pump and everyone gets liquidated to the upside. Okay, so my opinion is stay away from leverage. It is incredibly dangerous and you will most likely get liquidated because crypto is so volatile already. So adding leverage to the mix is basically playing with fire. So stay away from that, in my opinion. But this is basically what happened, and you can see over here. So overexposed future traders were liquidated, more risk-averse hodlers bought the dip. So while all those traders got liquidated on leverage, more and more people that were long-term hodlers bought that dip because, again, it was an opportunity. More and more people are buying. You can see long-term investors hodled 12.89 million Bitcoin, a new all-time high. So long-term investors are basically buying up Bitcoin and holding them. They're not trying to trade it. They're not panic selling. They're not getting liquidated. As these market drops happen, they buy more. They accumulate. And remember, there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin available, which means at some point, the more that they accumulate, the less is available for other people to buy. And then if other people want to buy, because they start to get that demand and that FOMO, then they're going to have to pay a higher price for it, and it goes higher and higher and higher until eventually it reaches a plateau. There's no more new buyers, and all these accumulators who have bought, obviously not all, but there will be many accumulators who bought early who will sell at the top, right? And then the reverse is going to happen. It's going to drop and it's going to go back down again, and a lot of people who bought the top are going to get wrecked. So you can see over here, long-term hodlers just keep buying Bitcoin, dip or dip, no dip makes no difference. There are a lot of people who understand what Bitcoin is, where Bitcoin is going, and they are willing to buy at these prices because they know that in future the chance of Bitcoin going much, much higher is very high. So they are willing to buy at 40K, 50K, 60K because they know it's going to 200K or 300K or 500K in the coming years. And these dips, when these markets sell off and people panic, sell, and other people get liquidated on leverage, that's just another opportunity for them to stack some more Bitcoin, which down the line, highly likely is going to be worth a lot more. And then just going back to this again, a lot of this stuff seems to be some sort of coordination, and who knows what really happens behind the scenes. But again, he says incoming FUD, tons of it stay focused. And then the very next day on September 8th, Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, starts talking about sketchy behavior coming out from the SEC, and basically that the SEC is threatening to sue Coinbase if they go ahead with basically their lend borrowing program. So there's a whole thread about this. I'll link to this down below if you want to read it. But again, there's going to be a lot of FUD coming out, exactly as was predicted over here. So we can expect more of this. We saw this earlier in the year. Remember with Elon Musk and all the FUD around Tesla, and then Vitalik came out and he dumped his SHIB tokens that were gifted to him, and the whole market kind of crashed. There's a lot of stuff that tends to happen that looks like it's completely manipulated and coordinated for the objective of getting people to sell their coins, to get people liquidated, to get people to panic sell, only to have other people accumulate. The big boys, the smart people, smart investors are accumulating. The market goes higher and higher and higher. The people who panic sold end up buying in much higher. So it's basically a transfer of the people who are impatient, who are overexposed, over-leveraged, to get them to basically hand over their money to the smart and patient people who are willing to wait and who are playing the long game, right? When we had that big crash in May, June, July, a lot of people who bought in 50 and 60K, they ended up capitulating and selling out at $30,000 or the low $30,000. And now they're buying back in at 50, 60, 70, $80,000. That's how the game is played. The people who don't know what they're doing, they buy high and they end up selling low, while the people who know what they're doing is they buy low from the people who panic sell and they sell it to them back at the top. That is how it works. So understand this, have your strategy right, and then you can be doing the opposite and playing along with the big boys and the smart money and actually be making money by buying low and selling high. And just to show you what's happening while these flash crashes happen and while all this FUD is going on around crypto, you can see Alan Howard backed 10 trillion holdings, raised $750 million to invest in crypto companies. We have the Ukraine that has legalized Bitcoin and crypto. You can now buy, sell, and hold Bitcoin and crypto. Then we have Stephen Curry, who has become a global ambassador and stakeholder in the crypto exchange FTX, right? This is absolutely huge. Along with Tom Brady, and we have Giselle here, you can see over here, they're becoming ambassadors for the FTX cryptocurrency exchange. We have Standard Chartered reporting that Ethereum is structurally valued at $26,000 to $35,000. That is absolutely insane, right? We're in the 3,000s for Ethereum right now. And I've heard more and more people talking about a $40,000 Ethereum down the line. Now, is that guaranteed to happen? No, but we're at 200 million people in crypto right now. What happens when that turns into 2 billion? What happens when Ethereum fixes its scaling issues and it becomes much more global? We've seen a little taste of it with the NFTs and all the projects that are built on Ethereum. What happens if it really becomes the underlying layer for everything that's built on top of it, or a large part that is built on top of it, right? And this is probably not going to happen this cycle, but imagine in 4 years or 5 years from now, we've seen Ethereum go from $80 last year to $4,400 in a year and a half. So as the space grows and matures, maybe by the next cycle, maybe in the next 4 to 5 years, we could be seeing $20,000 Ethereum. It's not impossible. Then we have the Texas Bitcoin Bill 4474 is now in effect. The bill creates legal clarity for Bitcoin and recognizes under the state's commercial laws. We have Panama that has introduced a bill to recognize Bitcoin and Ethereum as payment methods. We have the BBVA's Swiss subsidiary has launched a new crypto wallet. It has also launched an investment account that allows users to invest in crypto. We have a $1.5 trillion asset manager, Franklin Templeton, is hiring a crypto trader. Then we have Anthony Scaramucci now has 20% of his total assets in Bitcoin, up from 5% last October. So you can see, while the FUD is happening, right, and while they're creating all this panic and the headlines, and we get these big drops, big drops, I showed you what it looks like on the monthly, right? There's not really anything to be concerned about at this point. Obviously, in the shorter time frames, it moves a lot, it moves fast, and it can be concerning. You zoom out, there's basically nothing wrong, and there's no reason to stress. And while that is all happening, I'm showing you all these headlines, they're continuing to buy it up, they're continuing to invest. Infrastructure, compliance laws, it's becoming legal tender, countries are making it legal. Like, there is so much happening behind the scenes that just shows that Bitcoin and digital assets are here to stay. Combine that with the previous 4-year cycles that I've been talking about, where we peaked with Bitcoin at the end of November 2013, 17 December 2017 was the cycle peak top. So there is a really good possibility, in my opinion, that we are about to get a massive blow off top in the next 3 to 4 months, where everything is going to go much higher. And what they're trying to do is shake you out before it goes up and then get you to FOMO back in right near the top when everything is about to peak. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment down below with your thoughts. What do you think is happening? What do you think is gonna happen in the next few months? Would love to hear it, so comments are always welcome. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Get on my email list if you're not on there already. It's the first link in the description down below. And if you want to continue to learn more from me and you want to become a member of Intelligent Cryptocurrency before the doors close next month, you have the opportunity to do so. It is the second link in the description down below. You get access to all the education, the content, the previous newsletters, the updates. You get access to our forums, our private Discord group, access to me personally where I can help and support and guide you. And all of that is instantly available. You have a 60-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk to sign up. Okay, it's the equivalent of a daily cup of coffee at Starbucks. That's literally what it costs. It's risk-free. So sign up, come and try it out, see if it's for you. If you're not happy within 60 days, you can get a full refund. But if you wait until after the doors close, you're not going to be able to join. So next month, I will be closing the doors for the remainder of the bull run, and I will be only opening up sometime in the middle of next year, maybe even late next year, depending on the market conditions. But I do expect that we get some sort of blow off top in the next several months, and then after that, a big correction, possibly a bear market with an 80% plus correction. That is what I'm anticipating at this point. So my personal strategy is going to be to try and ride this bull run up as much as possible, to realize profits, to get out of the market as things go euphoric, wait for the crash, be patient, wait for those opportunities to come again, and then buy back in and near or towards the lows after that crash, because I believe that there is still going to be another cycle over the next 4 years that can be incredibly profitable, where if you play your cards correctly, it's going to be possible to make life-changing money, like retirement money, set up for life, rich kind of money in the next several years if you play your cards correctly. Obviously, if you don't play them correctly and you buy the top and you sell them after a 60, 70, 80% loss, then you know that opportunity is going to be messed up. So come and navigate this bull run with us inside Intelligent Cryptocurrency. It's more than 1,000 of us. It's risk-free. Second link in the description down below. Hopefully I'll see you inside. If not, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, because I will continue to update here for free, even though I will probably slow down a little bit on the content here on YouTube after I close the doors and focus on members only content and updates. Thanks for watching, have an awesome day, and don't get shaken out.